saving for retirement really doesn't work. You're gonna need to accumulate $4.6 million in savings. That's a big lift. And here is the heaviest part of that lift. You are going to need to contribute $63,000 a year to that savings account. Building a real estate portfolio in order to retire, you only need to contribute around $600,000. So this is how a simple man like myself looks towards retirement savings. People are really anxious and really nervous about their retirement. I can't say that I blame them. If you're going to put the money in the market, you can expect it to appreciate 5% a year. And now that's saying the market doesn't go down at all or crash. But for 30 years, you got to contribute $63,000. That's another big lift. So you'll contribute $1.8 million and the market will do the rest to get you to 4.6. That's a big lift. Retirement plans, for the most part, are not tax-free. Most people, when they contribute to their retirement plan, they think they're saving in taxes. They're actually enlarging their future tax bill. If you ask most Americans, how much cash do you want in retirement? And they say, well, I want $10,000 a month. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So here's a dirty little secret. This great hooray for the middle class qualified plan strategy that most people save for retirement in, they are not eliminating their tax burden, they're deferring their tax burden. When they try to liquidate their retirement savings, they're gonna be paying ordinary income rates. They're gonna be paying 35% still. So if you want $10,000 in retirement, you're gonna need $15,000 pre-tax. Now, what is 15,000 times 12? It's 184K. Most people say when you want to save for retirement, you got to save up 25 times the amount of cash that you want to be spending, to be golfing every day, to do all the stuff you want to do and travel, to do all the stuff you want to do in retirement. You take what you want to make in a year, multiply it by 25, and then you pull down 4% of that money every year for 25 to 30 years. So that's how the math works. Now, I'm just a simple real estate guy. So if I want $10,000 a month, I said to myself, well, self, why wouldn't you just buy 10 houses and pay them off over the course of 10 to 20 to 30 years? And so then I started playing with those numbers. And so if you're a married couple and both of you guys work, you can actually get 20 30-year fixed mortgages. So I said, okay, if my goal is $4.6 million and I can get 20 rentals, 20 loans, so I can get 20 rentals, what is the value of the house? And let's say I would set a target that I want to do this in 10 years. What is the value of the house going to need to be in 10 years for me to hit that magic 4.6 number? And that's some simple math. So 4.6 divided by 20 is $230,000. And that's what the house needs to be worth in 10 years. So then I started asking myself, well, if the median home price in the United States for the last 70 years has appreciated 5%, and so it's a safe bet that I can bet that all my rentals will appreciate at a minimum 5% a year, what is the value of the house that I need to buy today to ensure that it's worth $230,000 in 10 years? All I did is just do backwards math. So to get to a house worth $230,000 in 10 years, I need to buy a house today that is worth $141,000. So to buy a house worth $141,000, I need a 20% down payment. So basically, I need $29,000 for a down payment. And now if I wanted to get crazy and I wanted to buy all 20 this year, which is not necessary, I would need a total of $600,000. So this is why real estate works and why it's so much more efficient than just saving for retirement. Saving for retirement, you need to save $1.8 million. You got to go from $1.8 million to only having to contribute $600,000. But you got to be thinking to yourself, this can't be true. There's no way. Like, how can this work? Why doesn't everybody know about it? And here's the deal. People who want to save retirement are convinced they can't use leverage and can't use other people's money. But anybody who's wealthy knows that if you want to become wealthy, you need to understand how to use safe and efficient leverage. So through safe and efficient leverage in 20, 30-year fixed mortgages, you can shrink the amount needed to retire comfortably. You can buy a 2/3 that, and you can shrink the time from 30 years to 10 years. So let's take a look at what that house is doing at year 10. It's gone up from $140 to $230. The rent has gone up from $16,000 a year to now $25,000 a year. The tenant has paid the mortgage down, $17,000. So you've got a $100,000 equity gain right there. Plus, because the IRS code favors real estate investors, you're going to save $15,000 in taxes. In 10 years, this house will have produced a $128,000 return. Remember, your down payment was around $30,000. That's a 400% return. And then here's another fun thing about this chart. Because of inflation, all these other numbers are going up. The rents are going up, the operating expenses are going up, but what number's not going up? Since you have a fixed mortgage, your mortgage is not going up at all. So that's how the cash flow gap opens up, is rents continue to go up, but your mortgage stays the same. So at year 10, if you have 20 of these, you just made $2.5 million. With the cash flow, you're going to be getting $134K in cash flow a year for 20 houses. This is how a simple man like myself looks towards retirement savings.